Some magazine.
Hey, Group Believers, Dave here with you. Continuing my series of awesome interviews. Tonight I can't believe it, there he is, Stephen Graham Jones, New York Times best-selling author. Stephen Graham Jones. You ever get tired of hearing that, Steve?
No, that's the one adjective in front of my name that I don't mind.
You're okay with that?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
We're here, and I don't want to get off on a tangent too quickly because I got to say, first off, I'm a huge fan of your work. So
Thank you.
if we don't take care of business first, we're going to end up someplace we don't mean to be, and we're not going to talk about what we are here to talk about. But you have a reissue, if you will, of one of your 2020 novellas. Would you call it a novel or a novella? It's only 114 pages.
Yeah, novella for sure.
Yeah. Night of the Mannequins, Nightfire Press, which is a division of Tor, who I believe is who released it the first time, putting it out with a new cover. And I think it comes out next week, like on the 24th.
Yep.
So they sent me an arc of it. I read it, blew me the frick away. Absolutely loved it.
Thank you.
So let's talk about that first. Night of the Mannequins came out in 2020, right? And that was also the same year that The Only Good Indians came in. So that was the start of what has been a really great 5-year going into 6-year stretch for you, right?
Yeah, it has. It's been exhausting but thrilling too at the same time. Yeah.
Yep. And you know, I don't want to give too much away of it because, again, like I said, it is a short read. But basic gist of it is practical joke gone horribly wrong. Mannequin comes to life and starts killing people.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So you know, I'm sure you get tired of asking, like, where did it come from? But you just sit in the movie theater one day and go, like, man, wouldn't it be scary if one of these things stood up and it didn't have a face and it just walked out?
Yeah, well, you know, I had the title Night of the Mannequins. Ellen Datlow said, why don't you write another novella for me after mapping the interior? I said, sure. And the title popped into my head after a while, and I thought I was going to do a Night of the Living Dead, but with mannequins. You know, I thought that could be fun to have everybody, you know, hiding out in a fortified farmhouse or a barn, and mannequins are shuffling in to kill them. But then I sat down to write it, and all that came out was a slasher, you know? And yeah, you're right. It came out right close to Only Good Indians, which is also a slasher. And I think the book that followed it, My Heart is a Chainsaw, is also a slasher. So I was really in slasher mode then. And to tell you the truth, I'm never not in slasher mode.
Yeah. What are your slasher influences? I don't know your age, so I'm curious. Are you 70s, 80s?
I'm 50. I'm 53 years old, born in 72. So the first of these slashers I ever heard of when I was 6 years old was Michael Myers' Halloween. You know, I heard about him indirectly. Then pretty soon I started watching all the Jasons and Freddys. And then in 1996, Scream came along and showed me that this was the test for all the homework I'd been doing my whole life.
I'm a little bit older than you, so I came up with the Phantasms. You know, I was going to the movie theaters and seeing them as they were coming out. You know, so we're kind of cut of the same cloth here, actually. And I think that's why your stories resonate so well with those of us who are slasher fans. I mean, even though your latest Buffalo Hunter far removed from a slasher genre, but still amazing, like historical horror, and it's doing amazing, right?
Yeah, it's still moving really well. That's right.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's definitely not a slasher. However, slashers are justice fantasies, and the Buffalo Hunter is definitely poking and prodding into what counts as justice and revenge. Like where does justice become revenge? You know.
Right. It's a fine line, as they say, right? Let's get back to that. See, I knew I was going to do this. Now we're talking about Buffalo Hunter. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but I came into your world with I Was a Teenage Slasher. That's the first of your novels I read. It really seems like Night of the Mannequins and I Was a Teenage Slasher are kind of in the same world. I feel
really
I feel like Sawyer and Tully would like be best friends. Was that intentional? Did you kind of like build upon the world?
Yeah, it was not even a little bit intentional. I didn't even realize it till I was on tour for Teenage Slasher, and people started saying that Tolly was kind of like, Sawyer was practice for Tolly a little bit, and I thought about it, and I figured, yeah, they are. I mean, they're definitely from the same DNA pool anyways, you know?
Yeah, I mean, really, it seemed like they, again, if
Uh-huh.
they lived in the same
Yeah.
town at the same time, they would be
Yeah.
best friends sitting in the basement watching Michael Myers on the VHS, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I noted in my review of Night of the Mannequins
Hmm.
that this was like uh, condensed horror. I mean, you
Hmm.
cram so much into these 114
Hmm.
pages. I don't know that I've ever read a novella that is so well structured, is so funny, and is so terrifying as this one was. How did you do that? Did it just happen?
Um, I mean, I guess it just happened, but I mean, I do read a lot, and so I kind of try to incorporate what I think works in other text into my own text. But to tell you the truth, when I'm telling a slasher story, I consider Cabin in the Woods to be my guiding light, kind of. And when you watch Cabin in the Woods, you realize that really regularly, like every 10 to 12 minutes, there's another gag, be it like a comedy, a killing, or some gore, whatever it is. They're really good about like propping it up every little once and again, so you don't like go into a saddle for too long. And I think that's one of the if and the secret is probably the wrong word. That's one of the techniques to keep a novel moving forward for the reader is to provide something regularly every little bit, And Night of the Mannequins, hopefully does that. It has a little spike every few pages.
Oh, I can testify
Mhm.
100%
Mhm.
that is totally true. That's the first thing that really struck me on this. Is I mean,
Mhm.
I like yourself. I'm an avid reader, and I
Mhm.
can read pretty quickly. I could actually read this like on a lunch break.
Mhm.
But it's like, okay, I've read it on my lunch break. Now I want to read it when I get home, and then I might read it again before I go to bed.
Mhm.
you know, so and that
Mhm.
was really the highest praise I can think of for this. That it's just
Mhm.
so tightly written. I don't
Mhm.
know that I've ever experienced anything like that before. But with
Thank
that
you.
being said, you know how to also draw out the horror.
Mhm. Mhm.
You're the the My Heart is a Chainsaw, Don't Fear the Reaper, Angel of Indian Lake, all those. I
Mhm.
mean, those are full length
Mhm.
novels and all very much slasher
Mhm. Mhm.
novels. So how do you know that story could be? Do you think you could expand Night of the Mannequins? Could it be a longer story? Is
Hmm.
it in there?
That's a good question. Let me think. I can't think of how to like put a foot pup on it and make it into a novel without making it feel like it's got padding. Like I don't like padding in stories. Like
Sure.
I try to cut it all out if I can. Um, I think I think of novellas like a feature film, and I think of novels as a season of television or a limited series.
That's
And
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, and so I do think of when I was initially like conceptualizing Night of the Mannequins, like I think scope is the thing that differentiates a novella from a novel, and the scope of Night of the Mannequins is just a lot smaller than like My Heart is a Chainsaw. Even though they probably take place in about the same amount of days, but Chainsaw has so much more terrain and characters to cover. That it just takes 4 or 5 times as long to tell.
Are you done with the Indian Lake stories? Have you
I, it's,
is
it,
that tale told?
as far as I know, I'm done. Yeah, I think I feel like I'd be super evil if I were to drag Jade in for another round.
Absolutely. But although I don't think the fans would have any issue with that.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah.
they'd be all in. I don't think there'd be any problems there whatsoever. Um, the so You're a highly accomplished writer.
Mhm.
Uh, who do you read? If a new book comes out, what are you like? Well, like for me, it's Stephen King. Stephen King could
Yeah,
do anything, and
yeah,
like I'm there.
yeah.
Uh,
No, I read all King stuff when it comes out for sure. I think the last two novels I read are both forthcoming. One is Sarah Lincoln's Tradwife, which is really good, and the other is Paul Tremblay's Dead but Dreaming of Electric Sheep, which is also really good. And I read a
yeah,
lot of
Paul Tremblay's right
yeah,
up there, isn't he?
yeah,
Yeah.
he is, and I read a lot of comic books too.
Do you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I've never got into the comic book thing. I
Hmm.
know that's a big thing
Hmm.
with a lot of people, but the whole
Hmm.
graphic novel, I think it's more of a generational thing. I'm an older,
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
just wasn't my cup of tea, if you will.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
so,
yeah.
but so this re-release that they have coming
Mhm.
out, the purpose of it is to, I'm assuming, to build upon the fan base that you've now created.
Yeah.
Perhaps this got kind of lost because it came very early in this streak as we're speaking?
I think so. Yeah. Just the hope, I think, is that Night of the Mannequins and Sawyer can find a whole new group of people, you know?
Yeah. I think
Mhm.
they definitely will, especially for fans of I Was a Teenage Slasher. I mean,
Mhm.
right away I made the connection. I'm like, oh, okay. This
Mhm.
I kept waiting for Tully to kind of like pop up somewhere, you know, you know.
Yeah, they're both in Texas, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of it was said, yeah. And I know you grew up in Texas. Is that where you
Yeah.
draw a lot of your inspiration for these small towns?
I think it is. Yeah. Like yeah, and I grew up in small towns as well, as you say. So that's kind of where I'm at home. Like I know the rhythms and the pulse and the warp and the weft and the texture. It feels like home to me. I don't write a lot of stories set in the big city because big cities are still like exotic. When I go there, I'm the one looking up at the buildings, you know. And I think when you live there, you don't look up at the buildings.
Yeah, that's true. I would
Mhm.
agree with. I'm kind of the
Mhm.
same. I'm small
Mhm.
town, and you're right. I mean, I live close to Cleveland, and every time we were up there, we're like, ooh,
Mhm. Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
kind of goofy, but that's
Yeah.
exactly what happens, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, growing up in a small town Texas, what did you guys do for spooky fun? What was going on there?
Oh, Stanton, Texas, where I grew up, a lot of little town, about 3,000 people. We had a convent up on the hill, and it was boarded up, and so a boarded up convent, we're of course going to think it's haunted.
Of
And there's
course, has to be.
yeah, there's a cemetery coming off it, so we would go up there and scare ourselves in the cemetery, and that was always it was fun. And as in a certain sense, that's not really a ghost. But the problem was the older high schoolers would also go out there and they would terrorize us, and they were like a real threat, you know?
You gotta love that.
Yeah, yeah,
So, what kind of monster haven't you written about yet that you would like to? What is
yeah, yeah.
what's your Pennywise? What's your
I've never done a kaiju. I think I want to try a kaiju, like a God's. I mean, I can't do Godzilla, of course, but
No,
something
that's a
big
great
like
answer.
that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that. I was
Hmm.
looking for more of a supernatural twist, but
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's it. I like it. I
Hmm.
can't wait to see what you come up with that.
Yeah, yeah.
That could be some creepy stuff going on there.
Hopefully,
So,
man. Hopefully. Hmm.
so I have a picture of the new picture of the artwork for Night of the Mannequins.
Hmm.
I'll put it in the interview here. The
Cool.
fans will be able to see it when they watch this. But fantastic new cover art. Got your names up there on the marquee. I
Hmm.
mean that has to feel good, right?
Yeah, it's really
That is
cool. They
that
they
is
did it. Yeah.
they did it up right. And
Yeah,
as
they
we
did.
mentioned, it's coming out on the 24th. It's
Hmm.
going to be everywhere. It's
Hmm.
Amazon, all your online
Hmm.
retailers, all the bookstores are going to have it. Night of the Mannequins. Make sure you read this. Even if you're a Stephen Graham Jones fan, this is one that might have snuck past you. So check
Hmm.
it out. Stephen, I cannot thank you enough for taking a little bit of time of your day today.
Man, it was great talking with you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Mhm.